Real quick before the video starts, I have a new channel based around green tech stories on 4chan, and I'll be uploading videos daily over there. If you're interested, I'll leave a link to the channel in the description. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named ExpressRatio in the AITA subreddit. The post is titled, "I called my wife a slob and demanded that she cleaned before I come home. I am 30 years old and just came back from a nearly 6-month deployment. I have been married to my wife, who is 29, for 2 years. This is the longest deployment I have had since we have lived together. We do not have children, but we do have a few pets. I bought the house we live in before we got married, and before I left, it was clean and in great condition. When I walked through the door, it was like stepping into one of those hoarder show houses. I wish I were kidding. This is not an exaggeration. In fact, it is probably not descriptive enough. The master bathroom had black mold on the walls. The sink and shower were caked with soap scum, hair was everywhere, and trash covered the floor. We are talking used tissues, used pads, makeup packaging, all just strewn around. The toilet, I will not even describe the toilet. The bedroom had waist-high piles of clothes, papers, and God knows what lining 2 walls. The carpet was completely covered in pet hair. I saw little moths flying around that looked like the kind that eat fabric and hair. The living room was not so much dirty as it was piled with clutter, unopened shopping bags, decorations from last Halloween and Christmas still out, and tons of random stuff she clearly bought but never put away. And the kitchen, the smell hit me before I even walked in. Both sinks were full of dirty dishes with some kind of black sludge coating the bottom. The fridge was packed, but mostly with expired and rotting food. There were 2 casserole dishes filled with what I can only describe as pure mold. Based on what I found, the food in those dishes had been sitting there since before I left in January. I completely lost it. I yelled a lot. I called her names because honestly, what kind of person lets things get this bad? It felt like coming home to a house abandoned by squatters. I told her she had 1 week to clean the entire house and return it to the condition it was in before I deployed, or I would be filing for divorce. Then I left. I am staying with a friend. This guy is not easy to live with. He is loud, way too talkative, and messy in his own way, but even his place is paradise compared to what I walked into. My wife cried and begged me to stay. She said I was being unfair and that I just left her here to deal with everything, but I do not understand. What everything? We have no children. She works a normal job and comes home. That is it. No night shifts, no 80-hour weeks, no caretaking responsibilities. What else was there for her to deal with? What could possibly be taking up so much of her time and energy that basic tasks like throwing away used tissues, washing dishes, or taking out the trash could not be done? She told me I needed to help her because it was our mess, but I have been gone for over 5 months. She claims that I did not understand how hard it was for her while I was gone. I did not make any of that mess. I have been deployed and working my ass off, and the house I paid for was trashed while I was away. Is there something I really do not understand here? Update. Just thought I would post an update because I continue to get responses saying she is depressed on my original post. I heard you. Over 1,000 people saying it. You do not need to say it anymore. I went over to our house this morning and started cleaning while my wife was at work. It really does not look like she had done much, even though she told me she had been cleaning. I would really like to know what she cleaned because I did not see any difference between when I first got home and this morning. I cleaned the bathroom, I threw most of the garbage all over the place away, but tried to be nice and keep what actually looked like untainted makeup and bath products. I sprayed the entire room with bleach. The walls, the shower, the toilet, the floor. The bleach pretty much ate all the mold away on its own, but I scrubbed it all too. It took me maybe 15 minutes to rinse everything in the sink and load the dishwasher. That is what kills me. It took 15 minutes even with how bad it was. Why could she not have done that? It took longer to scrub the sink itself, and now it is scratched up from all of the utensils and metal baking sheets and things. Plus, there are permanent stains. I almost vomited from the smell. I saved absolutely nothing from the fridge. I filled 2 large trash bags with the contents, containers and all. I do not think anything was safe in there, and it was not worth taking the chance. There is still a lot more to do, but I took care of the most disgusting parts. She came home and did not expect me to be there. She came home with a shopping bag. She had gone shopping despite the hoard of stuff inside the house. I told her I cleaned up the bathroom and the kitchen and that we are going to work together all weekend to clean the rest of it. She hugged me and seemed thankful, but I told her it is not that simple. I am still pissed off and I still do not understand how this happened. She said she did not understand how it happened either. She just got overwhelmed. She was mad that I threw some of the stuff in the fridge away. She wanted to save the casserole dishes. One was her grandma's. Well, I never want to eat out of that dish again. She went and saved it from the trash. I told her I threw more stuff away and tried to save what seemed salvageable in the bathroom. I also let her know that if she does not help me clean this weekend, then I'm going to be throwing all of the stuff she has accumulated in the living room away too. She said she is going to help. I will obviously have to tell her exactly what tasks to do, and I should not have to do that. I have accepted that I will have to do it to get the place clean this weekend. Long term, that is not what I signed up for when I married her. Am I going to have to get a chore chart like she is a little kid? I told her maybe we need to get a cleaning service to come in. I do not feel we should need people to come in and clean our house for us, and I would prefer to spend my money on other things, but I still offered to do it for her sake. She was adamantly against it and does not want any cleaners coming into her space. She says it feels too weird to have somebody come in and clean. I asked her what was wrong, maybe she needs therapy or professional help. She said she knows she should probably go get help, but she is not ready to do that, and she can stay on top of things if we just get the house back to a clean state. She said she is fine and that she just got overwhelmed with work, felt so tired, and it was easy to let things go when she was the only one here. She says now that I am back, it will not happen. I will believe it when I see it. Pleasant Ground said, cleaning up a hoarder's home without the person admitting they need help never solves the underlying issue. My friend had someone she knew with this problem. The entire house was filled with clutter from floor to ceiling, making rooms unusable, yet she refused any help. It cost her her marriage and her children, who chose to live with their father rather than in what they described as a garbage truck of a house. Friends attempted to clear the house so the kids could return, but despite saying she wanted to clean up and help, she repeatedly pulled everything back out of the bins and the van destined for the dump, insisting she needed those items. Needless to say, it was a failed attempt. Eventually, the entire home became unlivable, so she moved in with her elderly parents and the cycle began again. Room by room in her parents' house became unusable. Her mother even broke her hip after tripping over some of the rubbish she was hoarding. Despite family members constantly trying to intervene, nothing ever changed. They made a second attempt to clear the house without her being there when she was working, but she got wind of it and refused to hand over her house keys to her brother, later claiming she had lost them. Her brother tried to organize a locksmith, but she also intercepted that attempt. It was honestly amazing how attuned she was to knowing if her belongings were going to be touched. Nothing ever went past her. Despite her actions, she insisted for years that she wanted help, but years of therapy were just lip service as nothing truly changed. Her mother, with the father now deceased, lives in a corner of a room in her own home, while the hoarder daughter sleeps on the couch beside her. There is not a day that goes by when she is not buying utter rubbish. Friends have stopped trying and only contact her on a need-to basis. Her family has given up trying to get services to intervene. This highlights the importance of being very careful about who you give power of attorney to as a parent. You want to choose a child who is stable. If they become unstable and you yourself are mentally unable to change the power of attorney, you may end up in an uncertain and difficult situation. I have no idea what the plan will be when this lady's second house becomes unlivable. Knowing her, she will rent a third house and fill it up as well. So OP needs to set a firm boundary, and if it is even breached slightly, he should get his wife to leave his house. I doubt his wife will stop on her own. She needs real help. This next post was made in the Ask Men Advice subreddit by a user named Crow2002. The post is titled, "Single Dad Wants to Go on a Cruise but is Holding Back Because of Me. What should I do to convince him to go? I recently graduated from high school. Before, my dad would always joke about how once I graduated, he would book himself a 2 to 3 week cruise just to have fun. I always told him that it would be a great idea for him to relax. My dad has been single for most of my life. My mom passed away when I was 3. He raised me the best he could and turned me into the person I am today. He is the best." Now I checked his computer and saw the website for the cruise, but he did not buy his ticket. I asked him why, and he said he felt bad leaving me home alone. I reminded him that I am technically an adult now, and last I checked, the cruise was for older adults to mingle and have fun. Even when I said that, he still was not fully convinced he should go. I want him to go so he can have fun and relax. With raising me and everything, he deserves it. What can I do to convince him he should go? He can afford the cruise. Update. Thank you to everyone who gave me a lot of good advice. We did talk about the cruise. My dad admitted that he is excited to go on one, but he feels like he is losing his role as my dad. I immediately hugged him and told him that he is my dad and nothing will change that. Nothing at all. I will always need him in my life for love and guidance. We cried for a while. My dad and I ended up watching the Goofy movie, which someone recommended, and we cried again. I also brought up the fact that since I'm staying home for college, I will most definitely need my dad to help me. Anyway, he decided to book a 2-week cruise for adults. This definitely made me more appreciative toward my dad. I am just so happy he is finally putting himself first. Oh, and he did order himself a cheesy tropical shirt, shorts, and a hat. I hope he has fun and does the cha-cha slide. User Maelstrom Witch said, "I am 45. My dad is still my dad. I am fortunate that I have both parents and good relationships with both. I still need my mom and dad. I hope I have many more years with them." Blimp Lover said, "What a good kid. Dad should be beaming with pride for raising such an empathetic adult." Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, Gamersubs. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.